Alrighty guys, welcome back to 1822 MC Adventures and More. This here's my channel. My name is Pete, and today we're doing an overnighter in the hammock. I am going to do some nighttime fishing. Hopefully I'll catch a nice catfish. Maybe I'll catch a couple catfish. But first, what do you say we set up camp? My plan will be to hang the hammock up between these two trees right there, make a fire pit, clean the place up a little bit, get some firewood, make some lunch, nap the rest of the day, rest up, and do some nighttime fishing. So what do you say we get unpacked, guys? Alrighty, time to cut everything loose. E-tool and food bag. Alrighty, what do you say we walk over to the tree and get set up? Alrighty, let's loosen everything up and get going here. So now since I got this hammock, besides doing all the tuning and tweaking I've been doing, I decided to use a old military tent stake bag for it because the little sewed on bag just not good enough really to use it as an actual stuff bag. So let's put some straps up and get going here, guys.
Wow! Come on, groove along. I said, baby, I know you're on a roll. Sweet honey, let's take it real slow.
What I'm looking for, I guess when you hold your hand about like this, is about 30 degrees. So I'm looking for 25 to 30 degrees on my hang. I have a structural ridge line on the hammock, so the hang will always stay the same no matter what the straps are angling at. This will stay the same. It will keep my hammock right where I need it. Give it a quick test here. Maybe one notch up. No boots in the bed, but yeah, that's going to work out just fine. So of course, you know, I'm still learning how to do this, so I'm going to struggle through this. This is my tarp that actually came with the hammock. It's 8 by 9.
I said we got what you need, honey. Come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on the highway, heat up. Wow. Come on and groove along. Come on. I said, babe. I said, babe. Oh,
made a prototype underquilt for my hammock. Well, laugh all you want. Guess who stayed warm and snug as a bug in a rug last night? This is a prototype. This is not a finished product. I was looking at cold weather solutions for my hammock. I tried the foam closed cell pad in there. I didn't really like that. Tried wrapping up in a wool blanket in the hammock. Didn't really like that. Looked at the price of underquilts. I really didn't like that. And so then I typed in do-it-yourself underquilts. Was not impressed with what YouTube offered me. It kind of seemed like everybody was doing the exact same thing, just their way. And of the finished product was always the same thing. So then I get on DuckDuckGo and I type in do-it-yourself underquilt. And then I started making a little progress, but it was the same basic designs. And then I seen one sub-link that said poncho liner underquilt. And I'm like, now we're cooking with gas. But it was the same basic design, and I'm like, man, I'm 6'5". I want to be covered head to toe. Why don't we put the quilt on a diagonal and see what happens? And I was like, hell yeah. So what I did was I took my old sleeping bag that's rated for 45 degrees. I retired this last year. And I took some little pebbles and some pieces of cordage, and I run a shock cord through the hammock. And so then I tied this together with some, like I said, some little pebbles. And so I got the diagonal ends tied with shock cord to the ends of the hammock. Then I got this flipped over the shock cord, and I've got it tied with shock cord on the bottom so it kind of stays there. But my game plan will be, I'm going to put grommets on all four corners, and then where I got these stones, I will be putting grommets, and then I got a couple more places marked that I'll be putting some grommets in so I can string it through my cordage, and it should work out pretty good. Now my final plan is to use a military poncho liner because it probably will be just as warm as this $10 sleeping bag. But I'll do the same thing. I'll run some grommets through it, run it long ways. I'll flip it over the cordage. I'll tie it on the bottom, kind of cinch it like a saddle. So when you get in there, everything spreads out nice. And I slept good last night in the hammock. I slept for about 5 hours. I haven't been able to sleep much more than that, but I was out here with my underquilt, a small pillow, and my wool trapper's blanket. More on this later. I got to go into town. And I'm going to stop by my wife's shop. She has an industrial grommet machine. I'm going to put some grommets in this, and I'll show you my prototype finished product. And as soon as I get my poncho liner, I'll do the exact same thing with a poncho liner. So I'll see you in a few minutes. As you can see, even if I was to roll this up tight, it ain't going to get much smaller than this. So what I did is like I said earlier, most of the videos, everything was the same freaking thing. Everybody acted like they just had fucking reinvented the wheel and it was the same shit. So I took this sleeping bag and put it on the diagonal, put some grommets, and used some shock cord, and it seems to be working good. Now, as you can see, from head to toe, I'm covered, and when I lay in there, this all kind of spreads out. Right about where my butt and hips area is, it's kind of doubled over. I think I will be putting more grommets in it to hold it up better, but I think doing a sleeping bag on the diagonal with grommets and shock cord is a much better way to do it than what I was seeing on YouTube. Because people were taking things like this but they were doing it not long ways, not on the diagonal, but just long ways, and so you still had all this space, so you're still having to keep your feet and your head and shoulders warm. I was like, how fucking stupid is that? So this is my idea, and I've already tested it in the backyard, so I know it works, but I do think that a military poncho liner will do much better because it will be able to pack up a lot smaller. And so that's my idea for hammock camping so far with an underquilt. As you can see, I set it up. I do have the porch mode, but I threw the flap back so you could see what I was doing. And everything's good. I'm happy. So with that being said, I'm going to drink some tea that I brewed up, and I'm going to get my fishing poles ready. Talk to you later.
Let's take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby. So take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey. Come and groove along.
Alrighty guys, I'm all packed up, waiting on my fire to burn down and do my final police call. What do you say we grab my camera gear and fishing equipment, and we go see if we can't catch us some fish. I've had some cut bait stewing in a plastic bag all night. It's ready to go, so let's walk down to the riverbank.
Gotta groove on.
Remember guys, always pay it forward when you can. Make sure that your fire pit's out. Take your garbage with you. And leave the place better than it was when you got here. Alrighty guys, that's it. Quick overnighter in the hammock. Time to get on the bike and ride on out of here. Follow me. I know a shortcut.